for Stage 1 of the Hyundai Archery World Cup here in South America's city of Eternal Spring in Colombia. Welcome to Medellin and Compound Saturday. Well, the wait is over, and what a place to start the 2019 International Archery season. Nestled in the northern slopes of the Andes, we're here in Stadio Alfonso Galvez, and it's time for the team compound medals. Well, the conditions here have been pretty good, but there's a drop of rain in the air. We sit, as I said, in the eternal city of spring, and we are at a perfect temperature of 22 degrees. I'm Karen Bachir, and joining me is Olympic archer from the USA, Mackenzie Brown. Mackenzie, what have we got to look forward to today?
We have the compound finals. It's a pretty great day for some archery. So we start off with the compound bronze for the women, and then for the women, follow that up with the men's matches.
Yeah, we've got a pretty packed schedule here for session 1 here in Medellin, and we look down the 50-meter range, shooting at a target less than a meter wide. We start with the compound women's bronze medal match, and what a match it is, Mackenzie. An unusual name in the lineup.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got Peru in our finals, so we're going to start off with the bronze medal. We've got Peru and Italy. So Colombia took out Peru to go to the bronze medal final, and then Italy was taken out by Team USA. So we should have some really good matches today.
About today, but we've got something to shout about right now. Let's welcome the teams out onto the field of play.
Señoras y señores, por favor, den la bienvenida a los atletas del campo para el partido de arco compuesto femenino por equipos para la disputa de la medalla de bronce.
Well, it's a pretty dramatic entrance for these athletes here, which is wonderful on this stage here in Colombia. We're sitting at 1,500 meters above sea level, but the shooting has been phenomenal here.
Italia, Anastasio, Sara, Marcella Tonioli.
Well, Italy look ready, and here come the Peruvians. They didn't have far to travel, but it's a long walk out onto the field of play here.
Yeah, it is. I think it'll be really interesting to see their debut on this finals field.
En la diana número 1, representando a Perú, Beatriz Aliaga, Valeria Canemaro, Jacqueline Palomino. El juez del partido, Roy Cortés.
Well, here we go. The line judge has got the teams out off the line. Mackenzie, there are no elephants here in South America, but let's get rid of the elephant in the room. Italy are the strong favourites here, right?
Yeah, absolutely. They just have the element of experience here. So I think Peru can definitely have an upset. It's totally possible, but we'll see what they do in this first end.
Well, Peru shooting on target 1, Italy on target 2, teams of 3 going up against each other. Let's get ready for the bronze medal match here in Medellin. dropping low and right for the first 2 arrows. So 3 sevens.
So you could just be noticing a little bit of a difference from the practice field to this actual competition field, so they'll make some adjustments so they can come back strong in this next end.
Next up, it's Italy for their first 3 arrows. All the archers shoot 2 arrows apiece. Well, you can see those asterisks on the scorecard there. That signifies that we'll go to a measure at the end of the 6 arrows from each team to just check whether they're 7s or 8s or 8s or 9s. Tonioli there looking pretty solid.
So really not a huge gap like we may have expected from Italy, but we'll see how Peru responds after their first 3 arrows. A solid 10 to bring their team back up. That'll be a line call too. It's pretty close, but I think it's probably in. So we'll have to wait for the judges to call that last arrow as well.
Well, potential 51 for Peru here. Italy can get to 53. Spread in the Italian arrows there.
Yeah, I think it's just maybe getting a little bit used to this field. Nice 10 from Marcello.
Well, Mackenzie, you said it was going to be close, and it certainly is. We've got 2 arrows, 1 from each team, that will go to a measure. Let's have a listen to the target judge.
Okay, so target 1, left 10, 10, 8. Right 1, 8, 7, 7. Okay, so target 2, left target 9, 8, 7. Right target 10, 9, 9.
Well, a double whammy there by the looks of things.
So Italy will have a 2-point lead going into this next end. I think something that might be interesting that a lot of people don't see is that this is the first match that's being shot today. So a lot of teams will come over and have people watch what's going on with the wind and the situations on the field. And so I think what we'll see is that they'll get a little bit more comfortable. They'll start putting a few arrows in the middle, just like those last couple arrows we're seeing now.
Yeah, we look back on that first set of arrows, and like you said, Mackenzie, the first match is well, you want to get rid of the anticipation, of course. So getting out onto the field of play is great, but it's nervy.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So let's see how Peru responds, and hopefully they can lessen this gap a little bit.
Well, the trailing team always start in archery, and Peru are trailing only by 2 points. It's time for the second end in the compound. women's team bronze medal match.
It looks like Peru has made the necessary adjustments to get right back in the middle. This is definitely what they need against Italy.
So a maximum score of 30 possible in the first 3 arrows. 10 is the top score. Marcella Tonioli and Anastasio.
Looks like the Italian team has found the center.
Very good shooting there from the Italians. Perfect 30. Measure on the first arrow from Peru to come at the conclusion of this end. So potentially trailing by 1 in this end. Peruvians, of course, preparing for the Pan American Games, which is taking place in their home city of Lima.
Yeah, I think that'll be really exciting to have the home crowd for them.
Yeah, and great experience here on the finals field as well for Peru. Got 20 seconds on average per arrow, and Peruvians using all of their time, but shooting a 10.
So before she actually drew up on that shot, it looked like she wasn't really comfortable with her hand position, so she had a little bit of extra time on the clock to be able to really get that set so she could shoot that final 10.
It's a bit of a stray one. That grouping in the left target is looking pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, great stuff from Italy. The pressure, in effect, is pretty much all on them. The Peruvians have got nothing to lose as the underdogs in this, but that can often wreak havoc in the minds of the team favourites.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of a mind thing about just going in a little too confident. Looking at the grouping here, we had, of course, that one stray, but really awesome grouping from the Italian team.
And what are we talking about in terms of distance left and right, the furthest left or furthest right 10 there?
So it's maybe all of 8 centimeters from one edge to the other.
And shooting at 50 meters, I mean, that is incredible. You know, the average human being with even A1 eyesight can't see that far,
Yeah.
let alone shoot arrows that close together.
Yeah, we're definitely lucky to be able to see with all the scoping that we've got here in our Falco Eye system.
Well, after the measure there, we see that 9 was marked up to a 10. So the gap is still only 2. The Peruvians are still in this. trailing though. They will shoot first. The lineup, Sarah Alaya, Valerio Cannavaro and Jacqueline Palomino.
Peru will be looking to really put a few in the middle to lessen the gap right here.
Yeah, and they look like they were centering in. It's start of the third end, all four here in the compound women's team bronze medal match. Didn't look happy with that one, and that is why Mackenzie, in team matches, it's great to be in a team and work with each other, but you've got to be honest about whether it was your fault you shot a bad arrow or whether the conditions changed, right?
Yeah, I think what you're looking for with a team is talking about wind conditions and anything you feel different, but it is important to let your team know, well, that one was on me, so that they know not to aim off according to where your arrow hit.
The door has opened for Italy here in the third end. Well, a 5-point swing for Italy halfway through this end, looking pretty dangerous for Peru. Mackenzie, if you're sitting there and you're trailing by this much and knowing the match is almost certainly out of reach, I hate to say it, what's going through your mind?
I think this would just be a time to practice for the Pan American Games in Peru. I think if you put your mind to it, you can definitely make a medal match there, and this is really good, starting practice for this team.
Very quick release there, time running out, and outside the scoring target there. The pressure piling on. 1 second left, as you can see on the clock for Peru. So she did have to release that quickly. As a leading team, Mackenzie, though, like I said, you've got everything to lose. The pressure is kind of on you, but in this position, Italy are going to see this one through, and probably quite convincingly.
Yeah, definitely. I think we might see a couple more of these archers later on in the finals, so I think what they're doing is definitely getting some practice at this competition field.
Well, potentially a 20-point lead on the cards here. Can Tonioli shoot that 10? She gets a 9. It's a big lead. It's a big lead. Not usual to see that on our finals field. A dramatic lead of 19. But the Italians are doing a very professional job here.
Yeah, absolutely. But I also think we don't need to discount the Peruvian team. I think they're out here and they're doing their best. And for their what I know as their first medal match in a World Cup, I think they're doing really awesome. There's so many emotions and feelings that happen on a finals field that I think they're doing all right.
They certainly are, and they look like they're enjoying themselves, and they came out onto the field of play with no trepidation. And they're taking a professional approach to this, but also enjoying the experience in preparation for those Pan American Games. We look back on some of those arrows, the grouping on the left target is pretty good. Like I say, the pressure is all on the Italians, but they're handling it very well. Peru trailing. Time for the final end here.
It looks like this team is kind of speeding up a little bit, maybe to keep the time a little bit more for this last archer. She seems to have a little bit longer process, so the team might be trying to help her out and give her a little bit more time.
Yeah, you talk about process there, Mackenzie. It's interesting. On average, 20 seconds per arrow, right? So stepping up to the line, you have 20 seconds. Everyone has their own little nuances to their process, drawing the arrow and putting it in the bow.
Yeah, there's a little bit of, I wouldn't say superstition, but kind of just intricacies that you really like to have just right as an archer, because you practice them so much, and it just gives you that level of comfort when you're shooting, especially what you need on a competition field.
Yeah, in principle, a simple game. Shoot 10s, win the match, but it's a lot more than that, and the process that these archers go through is as much about technique as it is about mindset. A good finish there from the Peruvians. Looking like they're here to show off to their South American compatriots.
The wind is picking up just a little bit. They've got a little bit more of a headwind, so I think maybe the Italians with a little bit more experience are being able to take on this headwind a little bit better.
Well, this is done now, so it's all about the score here for Italy, and Mackenzie, a bit of practice as well for them, even though they've got that bronze medal.
Yeah, and it's always good to finish on a good note. I mean, you would ideally want to have equal teams, but at the same time, you want to finish with a little bit of dignity and finish with a strong end.
Well, Tognoli to put the final arrow through here. And a 10 to finish there. Well, a convincing win for the Italians, but hats off to Peru. They performed well, they started well, they came out here onto the finals field, they looked like they were up for it, and they shot pretty well given the conditions.
Yeah, they definitely came out really strong. We're going to have some hugs all around and some congratulations.
Yeah. And look at the smiles on the faces of the Peruvians, and a gallant Italy there, winning the bronze medal match here in Medellin Italy will be on the podium a little bit later on today. Sara Rett, Anastasia Anastasio and Marcella Tonioli, joined by their coach. They have got bronze here in Colombia. Well, a great match there. Italy have secured the bronze here in Medellin, but Peru have stamped their mark on the international stage. Mackenzie, we look back over this. Italy confident throughout, no pressure really, given the fact that a bit of a banana skin potentially.
Yeah, I think you saw some high fives, and they definitely worked on their team aspect of things. Just keeping each other on check and excited for the match. So I think they definitely dominated this match, but Peru definitely kept it close there at the beginning.
Well, hats off to Peru, but Italy will be on the podium later on today with the bronze medal. Coming up next, it's the gold medal match, and what a match we have ahead of us. So next up, it's the gold medal match in the compound women's team event, and what a match it is. We welcome the athletes out on to the field of play. Well, Mackenzie, a really interesting one for everyone, but especially you.
Yeah.
Are you going to remain impartial here?
Absolutely not. I'm definitely not. We are against the home team, so our teammates will have to be a little bit louder here, but this should be a really close match.
Well, Mackenzie Brown, USA's only Olympic archer, female Olympic archer at Rio 2016, here supporting her home team. Let's welcome the USA and Colombia out onto the field of play here in Medellin.
Para el partido de arco compuesto femenino por equipos para la medalla de oro. En la diana número 2, representando Estados Unidos de América, Alexis Ruiz, Sofía Strachen, Jamie Van Natta.
Strong lineup for the USA, Mackenzie. Jamie Van Natta got some great experience.
Yeah, absolutely. Great experience with Jamie, and then we've also got two newer archers to the World Cup stage.
Well, they're up against Colombia. Here they come down the red carpet. And expect the crowd to go wild. The USA face the home nation.
En la diana número 1, representando a Colombia, Sara López, Alexandra Sandino, Alejandra Ustiano.
If you're standing out there on the field of play for a medal match, Sara Lopez standing next to you, will that give you a bit of confidence?
Yeah, I think she's definitely got a lot of experience and is a very talented archer. Alejandra as well has had a lot of experience on this World Cup stage. I'm not sure about the other teammate. I haven't met her yet, so I think she's pretty new to this field as well.
Well, here we go. Colombia on target one lineup with Sara Lopez, Alejandra Esquino, and Alexandra Sandino. So Mackenzie, how important is that first arrow?
I think it's pretty vital to know kind of where the wind is going, where it's kind of a cider arrow for the rest of your team to kind of see, okay, the wind is affecting, it's not, and to respond accordingly.
28 out of a possible 30 for Colombia. That big high five though after the first arrow, a telling sign for the confidence of the confidence of the confidence of the Colombia first for them.
She didn't seem too happy about that shot. It might have just broken a little weird for her. But it is the first arrow, and her teammates could come behind her and really help her out. Solid 10. We have pretty calm conditions out on this field, so I think maybe the team saw a little bit of wind that we can't really see up here.
Yeah, we're sitting probably 10-15 meters above the field of play, and of course the conditions change at height, but they're all shooting very well. I've got to say the USA team in those first 3 hours all shooting on a level. They're not on the vertical. They all seem to be very, very similar.
Yeah, I think that's pretty crucial for distance, but it means that they're reading the wind a little bit different each person. Perfect score for those last 3 arrows from the Colombian team.
Yeah, pressure on the USA here. They need a maximum 10-10-10 to level things up. Again, Vanata looked like she didn't like that, but it's a 10.
Yeah, again, just a little bit of feel. Sometimes your arrows go where you don't think they're going, which totally happens, and it can be a happy result. It can be a not so happy result. So we'll go to a measure for that one.
Yeah, marked up as a 9, but the stadium announcer said 8. If my Spanish is any good. Well, another 9 there, and a 2-point lead for the Colombians. They're going to want to perform well, and they started very well here in front of their home crowd. Mackenzie, the USA, under the cosh already.
Yeah, I think our team is just going to settle in and really hit the middle now. The Colombian team actually looks really cool with their jerseys. Right now they're probably just talking about their wind and where they're aiming and how they feel right now. So it looks like Alejandro is giving a little bit of advice.
Well, look at the calmness and the coolness from Sarah Lopez and her teammates. Here are the 10s from that Colombian team. And that picture there tells a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Just sometimes even if you're not feeling confident, if you pretend to be confident, the rest of your team becomes confident, and then it all works together. So even if it's not how you feel, if you pretend to be that way, it usually helps out a ton.
And of course there's a bit of mind game there as well, because it's what the other teams see as well. The USA need to counter that, but Colombia looking very strong indeed. Well, Vanata looking very keen here, wants to get out there and right the wrong. I mean, it's not a huge lead for Colombia, a good start for them, of course, but Vanata looking ready here. USA trailing by 2 points here in the gold medal match in Medellin. Andean Condor flying high here. They weren't flying so high yesterday when the conditions here were damp, let's say, Mackenzie.
Yes, there was a little bit of weather conditions we had to deal with yesterday.
Yeah, there's a few clouds in the sky here. Colombia shining in stage 1 of the Hyundai Archery World Cup of 2019. The USA trailing by 2 will shoot first in the second end of the women's team compound gold medal match.
Good shot from Sophie there. It looks like Jamie was kind of contemplating if she wanted to adjust her sight or not. So sometimes it's a feel thing, sometimes you think your sight's off. So I think just a judgment call on if you made a really good shot and it's worth it.
Well, 28 out of a possible 30 for the USA.
So a really quick shot there from Sarah. I think what she was seeing is that they kind of ran down their clock a little bit longer for their first half than they normally do, and she wanted to give them extra time for those last 3 arrows.
Yeah, time pressure is a big thing. Valnata she didn't look that comfortable, but she's shooting really well.
Yeah, not too many out there, but she just really needs to settle in and feel a little bit more calm about her shot. It feels like she's a little bit hesitant right now. Sophie's shooting really strong today.
Just a little bit of time pressure there for the USA. 5 seconds left on the clock, but a 9, not a bad result. 58 possible for the Colombians in this end. Well, there we go. 56 apiece in the second end, and Colombia retain their 2-point lead. Mackenzie, I've just noticed that the Colombian arrows have moved from a little bit bottom right to a little bit top left. Has someone made an adjustment there? Sarah Lopez, perhaps?
Again, it could be a sight change or just an aiming change. When you notice some kind of other factor like wind or the sun change, you can decide to aim off, or they could have just noticed that grouping was a little bit low and right, so they clicked a few.
Well, the USA have stepped up to the mark here, matching Colombia, and this young lady here shooting very well, as you said. Something
you can notice with that is that as soon as she lets go of the shot, she turns her head and she knows where that arrow's going. She knows it's a 10, so she can walk off the line. That's the type of confidence you really need on this finals venue.
Still trading by 2, though, the Americans. Jamie Van Natter stepping up for the USA for entry of this gold medal match. Under the cosh, but certainly in touch.
We will shoot first in this end, since we're still trailing by 2.
So Jamie Van Natter from the USA stepping up to the shooting line, trading by 2. They need to start well in the third end of this gold medal match. Oh, what a start there for the Americans.
You could tell her comment to the Hawaiian Superman in the box. She was saying that was it. That was the shot she wanted. She has been hanging a little bit left on that 10 ring. I would maybe give it a click, but each person to their own, you know?
Well, not a bad start for the USA in the third end of the gold medal match, just dropping a single point, and a little bit of pressure on Colombia now. Pressure? What pressure? Incredible. Really, really solid. Cool, calm, and collected. Sarah Lopez is the archer in form at the moment here.
I think that Jamie has found her shot that she wants for this final.
Yeah, it seems to be a boost for the rest of the team as well. Strachan on the line. Oh, look at that.
Just off the spider.
Long hold. Just pulled left a little bit for a 9, but a 58 out of a possible 60. The thing is, though, Team USA shooting so well here in the third end, but Team Colombia, 10-10-10 to start.
That high five sounded like it hurt.
So on for a perfect 60 here, and what better archer to have coming out to complete the 10-10, 10-10-10? Sarah Lopez. And
9 just out. You must have jinxed it.
commentator's curse there. A 59, though, is enough for Colombia to extend their lead over the USA in the gold medal match. Colombia delighting the packed-out crowd here in Medellin. So Colombia looking pretty happy there, pretty relaxed.
Bien, igual. Empezamos. Viene, viene. Ahora igual ella, ahora en retiro de ahora.
See Sarah waving on the person bringing the arrows. I think she was unhappy with the arrow she shot. That was a 9. She'd rather have these arrows that were just pulled out of the target.
Yeah, interesting here. We look back on those 10s from Colombia, on for a perfect 60. And high fives all round. So 5 10s followed up by Sarah Lopez on the line, going for the perfect score. And what does she do? Well, she shoots at 9, but look how close that is to the 10.
Just out.
Well, here we go. USA shot so well in the last end, but still lost out by a point. N4 of the gold medal match in the women's team compound event here in Medellin.
She knew it. Just, I love that when you just know it's going to be a 10 and you just walk off the line.
Well, great stuff from Team USA.
That's what we need right now.
It's all you can do as well. Shoot a perfect 30 in the first half and put the pressure on the team that you're trailing.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see how they respond.
Well, that's touching the line. That'll be marked up as a 10 for sure. Anything can happen here, though. A stray gust of wind.
It is picking up a little bit down there on the field. We've got a little bit of swirly wind, it feels like. So we got 1 point back so far. We'll see how Sarah answers.
Well, looks like that's 2 points back for Team USA. But Colombia, well, potentially still leading by 1.
Yep.
Another perfect score required. Jamie Van Natter leads the line for Team USA in this gold medal match.
Blown around a little bit by that wind.
Yeah, you can see it moving around.
Still really close to the 10 ring.
Strachan shot really well for Team USA.
Good shot right there.
So just dropping a single point in the final end. But a 231 possible with a maximum 10-10-10 from Colombia here for gold. Lopez there, encouraging her teammate and doing a great job, but now it's down to her. A 10 required for the gold medal here on home soil for Sarah Lopez and Team Colombia. Yes. Bang! Right down the middle. Team Colombia are the gold medalists here in the women's team compound event here in Medellin. We're 1,500 meters above sea level, and the Colombians are flying high. Well, what a match, Mackenzie. I mean, amazing stuff there from the Colombians. The pressure was all on them with the home crowd behind them. Team USA shot really well, but just giving up those 2 points at the first end, and that was it.
Yeah, absolutely. We definitely came back really well. And even in that last end was really solid shooting, very close to the center. doing hugs all around. Very excited for how both teams shot. Kept it extremely close. I was on pins and needles up here as well.
Well, there we go, confirmation that Colombia have taken the first gold medal here in Medellin, and the home crowd have begun the day with a gold medal. Sarah Lopez, Alejandra Esquiano and Alexandra Sandino there, raising their bows in the air, celebrating the gold medal they've just won. Well, a brilliant match there. Team Colombia walk away with gold, but we will see Team USA on the podium in silver medal. Sarah Lopez has got her first gold here in Colombia. Let's take a look at how they did it. Solid shooting from Sarah Strachan, and Alexis Ruiz there also shooting really well, but Team Colombia were anchored by Sarah Lopez, the form compound women's archer at this very moment in time, and in front of a home crowd performed admirably and brought her team along with her to the gold medal match. We'll see them on the podium very shortly. The conditions here looking pretty good. As you can see, the leaves on the trees aren't fluttering like they have been all week, but the weather can change very quickly. We've got more action here. Coming up next is the compound men's team finals. We'll start with the bronze medal match between USA and the Netherlands, and then we'll settle the gold here between France and Italy. Like I say, the conditions here have been changeable, but so far today, a little bit misty, a little bit humid, but no wet weather just yet. Now, if you want to follow the world of archery, well, just search at World of Archery on all the usual social media channels to pick up the latest news, and I recommend having a look at the latest archery show. Couple of Dutch archers interviewed by the mighty Chris Wells, available for all to see, and we are going to see those Dutch archers coming up very soon here in Medellin. So the women's team compound event has been settled, and we just take a quick peek at how things finished. Colombia taking top spot on home soil. The USA, well, they shot very admirably, but Colombia were just too good. USA settle for the silver medal. Italy will be on the podium as well with the bronze medal. And Peru, well, keep an eye on them. Pan American Games coming up a little bit later this year on home soil for the Peruvians, and they have got some great experience here, finishing in 4th place. Big crowd here, and whilst there are lots of team members supporting their teams, there's also a little bit of local interest here at the weekend here, and like I say, the weather holding off at the moment, but it can change at any time. We are in the northern slopes of the Andes, and a consistent weather pattern here in Colombia. Flowers blooming all round because of the fairly consistent 22 to 24 degrees here in the Abura Valley. But now it's time to celebrate those medalists for the compound women's team. Let's welcome them out for the medal ceremony.
Ladies and gentlemen, the victory ceremony for the compound women team.
Señoras y señores, la ceremonia de premiación para equipo compuesto femenino.
Medals will be presented by World Archery Executive Board member
Las medallas serán presentadas por el miembro del Comité Ejecutivo World Archery,
Greg Easton. The artisanal handcraft backpack will be presented by Colombian Olympic Committee President
Las mochilas artesanales serán presentadas por el presidente Comité Olímpico Colombiano,
Baltasar Medina. Bronze medal representing Italy,
medalla de bronce representando a Italia.
Well, here they are, the bronze medalists for the women's team compound Italy. Sarah Rett, Marcella Tonioli, and Anastasia Anastasio.
Anastasia Anastasio,
Greg Easton there, member of the
Sarah
executive
Rett.
board of World Archery, presenting the medals.
Marcella Tonioli, silver medal representing the United States of America,
Medalla de plata representando a Estados Unidos de América.
Solid performance from the USA, but not quite enough. Alexis Ruiz, Sophia Strachan, anchored by Jamie Van Natter, take the silver here in Colombia.
Congratulations.
Alexis Ruiz,
That was tough. It's a long way to go.
Sophia
There we go.
Strand,
Congratulations. There you go. You got your cheering squad up there, huh? Yeah,
Jamie
there you go.
Vagnetta,
Congratulations.
gold medal representing Colombia,
Medalla de oro representando Colombia.
Well, what a way to start the season here on home soil. Colombia take the gold in the women's team compound. Sarah Lopez, Alejandra Aspiano,
Sarah Lopez.
and Alexandra Sandino.
Good match.
Alexandra Sandino Borraiz,
Congratulations.
Alejandra Usquiano,
Well, what a brilliant
Ladies and gentlemen, please
couple of matches
stand
to
for the
start
national
things off
anthem of
here
Colombia.
in Medellin. Colombia take the first gold here on home soil, and it's time for the national anthem of Colombia.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give
Well,
a
there we
warm
go.
round of
Congratulations
applause
to
for athletes.
Colombia. They have taken the first gold medal here in Medellin. USA with silver, Italy with bronze. The compound women's team event is done, and Colombia on top of the world. Well, they just go off for their photo calls. Known as the City of Eternal Spring because of the consistent weather conditions here, but also very famous for their flowers. In fact, there's a celebration of flowers a little bit later on this year here in this city. But that is the compound women's team event done here. Our first medals presented. But that's not it. There's time for some more. Coming up very soon, it'll be time for the men's medals to be settled in the team compound event. The conditions fairly steady here.
A good look at that windsock. That's what we normally look at when we're trying to decide where to aim off, if there's a reason to aim off, but it looks super calm out there. This would be lovely to shoot in right now.
Best conditions all week, right?
Yeah, absolutely. The lighting is really good. It's not too bright.
Well, we look down the range, 50 meters, shooting at an 80 centimeter target, aiming for that gold in the middle. But coming up right now, it's time for the men's team compound event, and it's a bronze medal match to be settled first up. Guess what, Mackenzie? You got something to look at.
Yeah, always. So we've got our team shooting against the Netherlands. Italy and the Netherlands had a really awesome match, but the Netherlands did not make it through, so we will be shooting against the Netherlands. We had a one-arrow shoot-off against France, but unfortunately, we had one arrow that was just out, so...
Well, they're coming out right now. There is the coach from the USA looking down the sight. Here they come, the Dutch archers coming out first. It's the bronze medal match in the men's team compound event. USA versus the Netherlands.
Para el partido de arco compuesto masculino por equipos para la disputa de la medalla de bronce. En la diana número 2, representando Países Bajos, Peter Elsinga, Sil Patcher, Mike Schlusser.
Well, the Netherlands will face the USA, and here they come.
Del campo para el partido de arco compuesto masculino por equipos. para la medalla de bronce.
So the USA line up with Matt Sullivan, Tate Morgan, and of course, everyone knows Chris Schaff.
En la
Standing there
diana
in the
número
middle.
1, representando Estados Unidos de América, Tate Morgan.
And a bit of a youngster there, Mackenzie.
Chris
Tate Morgan in the
Shaw.
team.
Yeah, Tate's a little bit younger,
Matt
but
Sullivan.
he is making a strong stand on the U.S.
El
team.
juez de la diana para esta partida será
We've got our
el juez
teammates
de la
in the
diana para este
stands
partido
cheering
será
them
Roy
on.
Cortés.
Well, they're up against the Dutch, Mike Schlusser, Peter Elzinger, and Sil Patter. High fives, fist bumps actually, all round between the teams. Great deal of respect between these teams. Ranked 1 and 2 after the ranking rounds, but lost out in the semi-finals. So they're shooting off for bronze here in the men's team compound event.
Even though this is the bronze medal match, this should be a really high-scoring match. If I know my team and I know the Netherlands and how they shoot, it's going to be really strong.
Well, shooting first in this bronze medal match is Team USA on target 1.
So that third arrow finally finding the 10 ring. What we've noticed on most of the teams is they start out low. So I think the same is to be said for our team coming out.
Mr. Perfect.
Perfect, nearly on the spider.
Little adjustment there.
But it got him in the center. It might have been just some information from his teammate that he needed to be able to adjust to go right in the 10.
What a start from the Dutch archers.
Definitely made the adjustments that we needed to be back in the middle.
Sullivan follows suit.
Yeah, good. Just under the cross.
You
Very
could tell
relaxed.
just how relaxed he was. He knew that's where it was supposed to go, and that follow through was just effortless, and that's what we like to see.
Coming off the left. Just off the top. 2 shots out.
Well, 3 points drop from the USA from the perfect 60. Chance for the Dutch to strike early.
For some reason, it looked like Mike didn't like that shot, but it went right where you'd like it to go.
Yeah, it was a centimetre or 2 left of the spider.
That's true.
Mr. Perfect wants perfect. In fact, we can't call him Mr. Perfect anymore. He's now Sir Perfect. He was
Sir
knighted by the Dutch royal family yesterday, believe it or not.
Wow, what an honor. definitely tell he did not really like that shot either. But unfortunately, unlike Sir Schlosser, he got a 9.
Well, you said the scores were going to be high and started pretty well for the Dutch. Well, they dropped a couple of points in their last 3 arrows and only lead the USA by 1. Great start here. And Mackenzie, the wind has just picked up a little bit.
Yeah, we're starting to feel a little bit of a change here. It's still a headwind slightly from the right side. So we'll see how these archers adjust for that. It's not too strong. Our wind gauge down there says about 1.5 meters per second. So not a huge adjustment needs to be made because these bows are shooting so fast.
Yeah, shooting at 50 meters, the compound archers have a pulley system. So you see the recurve archers, their bow will bend. But here, the pulleys do all the work. Let's have a look back on that first end, Mackenzie.
Yeah, just like we stated before, we've got a little bit of low grouping from USA, right in the middle for the Netherlands, a couple of flyers. Really awesome to see this from the Falco eye system. It's super accurate and really cool to see the grouping.
Well, the Dutch, trailing by 1, will shoot first in the second end of this gold medal match. So Schlosser is, the Americans will shoot first. So Schlosser looking on. That's Tate Morgan.
You shot the right
Hits
target.
the line.
Grabs a 10.
100% 10, right target.
Braden.
The right target, let's just get that one dumped over. It's fine.
Braden just made a comment that Tate shot the right target, which is totally fine. We just need 3 arrows in each target. So just that his teammates need to be on the ball, listening to what's happening and making sure we only have 3 in each target face.
Yeah, beautiful. You guys have 3 half shafts around 6 o'clock. Left quarter 10. Left quarter 10. Left target 10. Yeah, it's the correct target. You probably heard me say a little bit off the
So why do they call him Mr. Perfect?
He's the first person to have shot a perfect score indoors.
Again, clinging the line there, that will get marked up in archery. If you hit the line between the rings, you get the higher score.
So we were all tied up now. Conditions are changing. We're still right at 1 meter per second on the wind, so we'll see how the USA team responds.
Go, Maddie. Left target, bud. Wrong shot. Yes, good cross. Top of the spider. Good job. Go, Chris. Wrap it up. Nice shot. Hey, jump. Yes. Clear 10, 3 o'clock.
Well, look, we're talking about millimeters, not centimeters here. Everything a little bit below the spider for the Americans in the first 3. They've adjusted, right?
Yeah, I think so. Compound shooters do quick adjustments, but don't adjust for small amounts like that. If you're in the 10, stay in the 10.
Pressure on the Dutch now. They need perfect scores here to maintain the lead. they needed a perfect score, and 10, 10, 10 for the last 3 arrows, leading just by 1 still. Great shooting from both teams.
It's a really close match right now. We've got really solid shooting from both teams.
Yeah, you said the scores are going to be high, and the consistency is incredible. When we look back across all the arrows, here are the Dutch arrows. Mackenzie, not bad, eh?
No, it's really solid shooting. One arrow that's just so close to the we call it the spider, the little X in the middle of the target.
Yeah.
We call that the spider, so it's just so unbelievably close. Just such accurate shooting.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for people to really appreciate the distance these guys are shooting over, and the arc of the arrow. It doesn't go in a straight line. It goes up and down. We look back at the Dutch archers shooting those 10s.
Yeah, so these compound bows are shooting, like I said before, so fast that there is a little bit of arc, but they are going pretty straight towards the target.
Well, the Americans trailing by just a point. Start the 3rd end. Tate Morgan to kick us off.
Shoots the left target this time.
Perfect height. Okay. It's all right. Just. We'll get it the next time. Good shots.
That's Sullivan, number 2 for the American team. He really does have a real, so relaxed, so calm.
Matt is such a seasoned archer. He's been on the circuit multiple times.
Did you just call him old?
I said seasoned. Matt is a really good friend, and I think that he would appreciate that. But yeah, just a really solid archer. And another thing to note is that Braden Galantine is in their box. He's their 4th team member, just giving really solid advice, probably advice that he would want to hear if he was up there shooting himself. So really good support for our team.
Great unit, Team USA, but so are the Dutch. Kenzie said it at the top, we're going to see some great scores here, and this really was probably the expected gold medal match lineup, but both the top teams failed in the semi-finals, and so they'll shoot off for this bronze medal. And this grouping is quite incredible. The USA shooting really well, but the Dutch just pipping them.
He's just hanging on the right side of the target right now, so I think I'd be giving it a couple clicks. It looks like he is adjusting. So we'll see how Matt helps him out.
But just give the guys a bit of perspective here, watching it. You know, you say a couple of clicks adjustment. We're talking about, 3 centimeters, not even 3 centimeters.
Tiny adjustments on the sight, but they do make big differences when it comes to the distance that we're shooting and the type of equipment that we have. The tolerance is so small, so just a couple of clicks, our sights click to be able to move them. A couple of clicks will move you a solid inch one way or the other.
And so this is interesting because they're adjusting by millimeters at the shooting line as we look down on Sir Perfect and Mike Schlusser, and that makes a difference over 50 meters of 2, 3, 4 centimeters, or in old terms, 1 inch.
Yeah. That was, I believe, Mike's first arrow outside of the 10 ring. Another 9. Giving our team a little bit of breathing room, but they still are currently leading by 3 points.
Elzinga on the line. Clearly made a bit of an adjustment there. But as you say, Mackenzie, it's a 2-point lead after 3 for the Netherlands here in this bronze medal match. And to be fair, the wind's dropped off a little bit, but you can probably hear on the microphones out on the field of play, it's gusting, and you archers don't like that. You want a nice, you don't mind if it's blowing at 10 meters per second right to left, as long as it's consistent.
Yeah.
But here, the wind's very low and slow, but not consistent.
Yeah, it's a little bit unpredictable when you've got the gusts. When you've got a consistent wind, you can pick an aiming spot and just go for it. So we're going to see our grouping.
That's the USA's grouping.
Yeah, Team USA, sorry. That's my team. We've got a few more outside of the 10 ring than I know the guys would like, but I think we've made all of our adjustments we need, and I think we're going to see a perfect score here.
To give everyone at home an idea of what kind of distance we were looking at for that grouping, how wide was that from the furthest to the furthest arrow?
From the furthest arrow, I would say is maybe 3/4 of an inch from the 10 ring. I don't speak metric system, so I'm not too sure about
6
centimeters.
centimeters from or maybe 7 centimeters from the furthest arrow to the furthest arrow. So a really tight grouping at 50 meters. But it's USA who are still trailing here in this bronze medal match, and they will shoot first. Up again is Tate Morgan.
Yes, good.
It's a good starting arrow just off the spider.
Left side 10, left X. Yep. Let's go, Maddie. Left side 10, trust yourself. Let it eat. Yes,
Yeah,
nice
he
work,
just a
boy.
little bit closer than Tate's arrow, but just awesome shooting.
Dead up down there. Put it on their arrows and send it.
Got Chris Schaff here rocking the mullet.
Beautiful. How's that set? Nice work.
Wow,
Way to fight through that,
a
man.
great grouping.
Way to fight.
Shooting first sometimes is not favoured by these archers, but if you shoot a perfect 10, you're putting pressure on the team, and trailing by 2, that's just what the USA need.
Absolutely.
A little adjustment there by Sir Perfect, Mike Schlisser. Another one gripping the line. Team USA put down a perfect score for the first half of the last end here. But the Netherlands are matching them, and Peter Elzinga going for a perfect 30 to start for the Dutch. Just dropping into a 9, so notionally the USA have clawed 1 point back.
Not gonna lie, my heart rate's pretty high right now.
Yes, spider. Good start, man. Nice work. Same spot, Maddie. Same spot.
That's
So sweet.
That is, I mean,
Yes.
just as close as it gets.
Tons of time. Tons of time.
Tons of time for Chris Schaff here. He's going to want to finish with a 10.
Yes, boys.
Wow.
What a set of groupings there from Team USA. They've laid down a perfect 60, and the pressure is right on the Dutch. What an exciting end to this bronze medal match.
It's exactly what they needed to be able to put the right amount of pressure on this Dutch team. So we need one more 9 to be able to go to a shoot-off. We will see.
The Dutch
How it
need
turns
10s, 10s right the way through here.
A little bit of hesitation there on that shot, but still got a nice X.
Elzinga needs a 10 to take the bronze here for Holland. Pressure on this archer right now.
And he gets a 10.
What a match that was. The USA did everything they could in the final end, but a perfect score from both teams mean the Dutch are taking bronze here in Medellin. Well, Mackenzie, you said it was going to be a high scorer, and it certainly was, but not just a high scorer, just the pressure in that final end.
Yeah, just the Team USA shot an amazing, perfect score, just what they needed. I know the guys would have wanted that to happen a little bit earlier on in the match, but I mean, just amazing fighting to give themselves a chance at the medal. But the Dutch team ended up taking this bronze medal.
Well, they've trained hard over the off-season. They would have been disappointed to lose out in the semi-finals, but the Dutch will be walking away with the bronze medal here from stage 1 of the Hyundai Archery World Cup of 2019. Elzinger, Schlusser and Patter will be on the podium a little bit later on today. Well, it was a spectacular match, just 2 points dropped again, like in the women's competition a little bit earlier on today. That first end proving so crucial.
Absolutely, we definitely want to, no matter what your team is, you want to come out really strong. It just sets the precedent for how you want the rest of the match to flow. Today we didn't really shoot the best for our first couple ends, but we really finished strong, and that's almost as important as starting really strong.
Well, there are the Dutch high-fiving all round. They take the men's team compound bronze medal. Well, misty conditions here. It's a little bit humid, but rain has held off. But things can change here pretty quickly. We've settled the bronze medal, but we have one more medal to settle up. Coming up very shortly is the gold medal match in the men's team compound event here in Medellin. Well, we thought the USA and the Netherlands, ranked first and second, would be in the gold medal match. They lost out in the semi-finals, and this is why. France and Italy performed so well in those semi-finals. France coming through a shoot-off, Italy, well, dominating the Netherlands in the end. Let's welcome them out onto the field of play here in Colombia.
Señoras y señores, por favor, den la bienvenida a los atletas al campo para el partido de arco compuesto masculino por equipos por la disputa de la medalla de oro.
Well, first up, it's the Italians, Federico Pagnoni, Sergio Pagni, and Viviano Moi.
En la diana número 2, representando a Italia, Viviano Mio, Sergio Pagni, Federico Pagnoni.
And here are the opponents: France, Pierre-Julien Deloche, Sébastien Pinot, and
Señoras y
Jean-Philippe
señores,
Buch.
por favor, den la bienvenida a los atletas al campo para el partido de arco compuesto masculino por equipos por la disputa de la medalla de oro. En la diana número 1, representando a Francia, Jean-Philippe Bulls. Pierre Julian Dulos. Sebastián Peñón. La juez de la línea para esta partida será Liz del Carmen Pérez.
France shooting on target 1, Italy on target 2. The fist bumps all round as we start our gold medal match in the men's team compound event. Looks like the Italians are going to shoot first on target 2. The range is declared safe to shoot. The umbrellas are up, not because of the rain, but because of the sun, which is just starting to peek out as we look down the range from the left-hand side. Clouds clearing, and it's time for gold. Well, one right, but a nice height. The second one up and a little bit to the left, and the third one right in the middle. Mackenzie, the wind has dropped almost completely yet.
Yeah, I don't know if they just adjusted for what we've seen consistently on this field. And that's why one of the archers from the Italian team had a higher arrow. But I think they're going to make really quick adjustments and be back where they want to be. Really solid start from France, though, right in the middle.
Well, they're seeing opportunity here, right? Because 3 points dropped. I mean, at this level, that's a door open, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's an open door, and they need to capitalize on it. But just really solid shooting.
Well, second arrow for France on a 9, but the asterisk denotes that we will go to a measure for that second arrow, so potentially on a perfect score. We just caught a quick glimpse of that one. That second arrow looked just a little bit outside the line.
It looks out to me, but we have really fantastic team of judges down there that will make the appropriate call for what that value is.
Well, you said quick adjustments, and it looks like the Italians have made those adjustments super fast. On for a perfect end here.
So point to kind of note is this is Sergio Pani, and just such an amazing archer, but he shoots a very interesting archery setup. Over the years, everybody changes a little bit on how they want to set up their stabilizers and what's preferable on release aids. He is consistent to a T and just keeps with what works, and if it's not broke, why fix it?
Yes.
Well, on for a potential 2-point lead here, France, in this gold medal match. And that could be risen to 3 after the measure on that second arrow. Well, marked at 59, the French, but the second arrow potentially could be marked up to a 10. Neither of us think that's actually going to happen, do we?
I think it'll be really close, but I think our judges will know better than we will. So we're going to have them go down and measure that. So
yeah, they'll have a look down at the other end, but the French team looking on, I think they know it's a 9. And the French really piling on the pressure early doors for the Italians. Let's look at these last 3 arrows, Mackenzie. 3 10s to finish things off, and I think you can see on the left-hand target, might be clipping the line, that left arrow. We wait for confirmation.
it stays a 9.
There we go.
I think what you'll see when you look at that arrow is that it went in and then kind of kicked out. So the arrow isn't close enough to the line to be called the higher value, but it did tear the line, which is what I think the asterisk was there for.
There you go. It tore the line, but didn't cling on to it, and so it marked as a 9. But 59 out of 60 for the French. They lead Italy in the gold medal match. It's time for the second end here in Medellin. Good grouping, consistent height. Might be making a little bit of adjustment to the left, but only a touch. Near perfection for the French. Wasn't happy with that one, just pulled away there.
Quite surprising to throw an 8. They've been really consistent and close to the center of the bail, but they do have a little bit of breathing room, so I think they're going to be all right. I think they'll bring it back to the middle. Another unhappy shot right there.
Yeah, you can see the reaction of the archers as they release. Getting a picture of their faces really good, because you get a good idea of how happy or not they are.
A nice quick shot for the second archer. I think they know that Sergio likes a little bit more time to make a really good shot.
Well, slightly longer hold as you suggested, Mackenzie, but very relaxed and smooth release.
We've got Sebastian Pinot, reigning world champion from 2017 in Mexico City. Solid 10.
We're at perfect 10s here. We'll keep the French 2 points ahead.
Another solid 10. This is what they need to come back from that 8.
Pressure on. Long hold time ticking away, but what a shot that was. And having it dropped the points earlier on.
They still maintain their 2-point lead, though.
3-10s at the end. Keeps France 2 points ahead against Italy in this gold medal match. French have shot so well here. And here we see all of their arrows. Mackenzie, one straight 8 to the left, but everything else is grouped up really nicely.
Yeah, absolutely. You see that 9 that was just called out, and honestly, just amazing shooting for the rest of the arrows. This team is really established. Both teams are very seasoned teams. They've been on this field before.
And here are those final 3 arrows at the end from the French. 10-10-10. After dropping the 8, pressure really on the French. But crikey, they handled it so well. High fives all round. The French lead by 2 here in the men's team compound gold medal match. So Italy trailing by just a couple of points. Lead off in end 3 of the gold medal match here in Medellin.
His reaction to that shot seemed like it was pulling a little bit more to that right side, so I think that's why the result was a 9.
Yeah, the wind just changed a little bit to drift across left to right. Just picked up a tiny bit, and all 3 arrows just pulling to the right a tiny bit. But 29 out of 30, not bad. Mackenzie, in this position, if you were Italy, shooting first, trailing halfway through the match, what's going through your head?
I actually prefer to shoot first. I think it just kind of puts a precedent, like, okay, I've got a clean target, it's mine to control. With a team, you kind of just are focused on putting them in the middle. It doesn't really matter too much what the other team is doing, because you have to shoot.
Wind starting to gust. You can see the t-shirt there just buffeting in the wind. And the French have done what they need to do and match the Italians through the first half of the 3rd end. A little snatch at the end there, but clinging to the 9-10 ring.
This is definitely how Italy needs to respond right now. Lots of 10s. Confident shots.
Well, plenty of time here.
Sergio is known as the Sultan of Smooth, and it is proving true here today in Colombia. He's just shooting really confident, smooth shots.
Pinot has done his job here in the 3rd end. Hands over to his teammate.
A little bit of wobble on the setup. Sometimes the arrow will fall off of the blade, so as they call it, that rest that the arrow sits on. So he just had to adjust and knock that up with his bow hand.
Well, good response there from the French to the 3 Italian 10s to finish the end. But the Italians still trailing by 2 as a result. And we go into the final end. High fives all round from the French team, looking relaxed, but 2 points is not a completely unsurmountable lead to quash.
Yeah, we're going to look at kind of the grouping here. Both teams extremely accurate. You kind of see like a diagonal pattern here, but that just could be just the flow of how the wind has been changing, but just really incredible shooting from both teams. What we're seeing though for most of the teams is that first end is so crucial, because right now Italy's shooting amazing, but so is France. So there's not any points to be gained back. So that first end just is eating everybody up right now.
Yeah, the start's so crucial here, with the conditions probably as calm as they have been all week. Getting a good start seems to be the key here. Can the Italians claw back the deficit they face right now? So here we go, the final end of the men's team compound event. Italy versus France, the French leading by 2. Italy kick us off here for the gold medal. Not bad.
It's a good start.
It's what the Italians need. They need shooting first to pile the pressure on the French. And this is excellent.
Solid 10s, just a grouping within the size of a quarter. I mean, that's what you're looking for in this last end. We'll see if France gives them any opportunity to gain some points here.
Well, there's a point dropped. Pressure starting to show, perhaps.
They still look really calm in their shots, which is really crucial to be able to stay right where you want to be in the 10 range.
Another 9. So now, notionally, the French are level. That's marked up as a measure, but Mackenzie, that looked a clear 9 to me.
Yeah, it looked out as well for me, but you know, you could see a different angle. The Falco eye system is extremely accurate, so.
Just adding to the tension, and another 9 here, and just like that, Italy take the lead, having trailed from the very start of the match. Now that second arrow marked with the asterisk could be marked up to a 10, so potentially they're level, but another 10 from Italy. How exciting is this?
Very, very strong right here, capitalizing on a few mistakes by the French team. A really quick shot, but a 10.
Well, another 10 here, and Italy could have snatched victory from the jaws of defeat. The question is, will we go to a measure if they do get this 10? Long hold. Another 10.
It's a 10.
Oh, it's marked as a 9 on the scorecard.
Yeah,
Oh, there you go. It's just been adjusted to a 10. Right, so perfect score for Italy. France under the cosh here. They need a perfect score and the measure to go their way just to draw level.
Italy was treating that as though they have already won. I believe I would agree with them based on where I see that asterisk arrow, but we'll have to have our judges make that call.
Well, I think you might be right, but the French have got to do what they need to do, and they've
That
pulled
seals
that one.
their fate.
Yeah, they've pulled that one left. The French led from the start, and even with the measure now, they are out of reach of the Italians, who have come back from behind throughout the match. And the pressure really showing at the end there. In the final end, having shot so well, the French drop the ball. Italy take gold here in the men's team compound event in Medellin.
We talked about earlier how that first end is really crucial, but really fighting back is so important right now, and that's definitely what the Italian team did.
Yeah, you're not out until you're out, and the Italians did what they needed to do, pile the pressure on. You said you like to shoot first when you're trailing.
Yep, it seemed to work for the Italian team.
Well, there you go. Italy are the gold medalists here in Medellin, and France will have to settle for the silver medal here. There is confirmation. Italy win the men's team compound gold. Well, brilliant stuff, Mackenzie. Look, there's been a big break for you archers in the season, starting the new season here in Colombia. Am I right in thinking the European teams, and perhaps yourselves included, the USA, have really been training very hard in the off-season?
Yeah, I think the weather may have helped out a little bit. Some of the other countries may have had some inclement weather to...
Yeah, well, the weather has been great here, and the shooting, as you predicted, was going to be high scoring. As we look back on the Italians fighting back after training from the French, and well, again, curse to the commentator, we said that getting a lead early is crucial. Well, the Italians proved otherwise. And if you look back on that final end, that was really crucial. Training throughout, Italy then shot, well, here we go, superbly.
Yeah, just tight grouping, really solid, what they need going into an end where they were trailing, and then just shot how they're supposed to.
Yeah, they talk about staying in your zone, not worrying about the scoreline. Italy did that. Seemingly looking down the barrel of the gun, shot some 10s and took the gold here in Colombia. Well, look on as the French perhaps a little bit bemused there in the crowd, and look at this place here. It is absolutely stunning. What a place to start the 2019 season. And if you want to follow the world of archery, well, just search at World Archery on all the usual social media channels, Twitter, Facebook. Mackenzie, you're younger than me. What other ones? Snapchat?
Instagram, I think, is the popular one to go on. But yeah, definitely follow World Archery to keep up with all the latest news and the world of archery.
Yeah, the YouTube channel is pretty cool as well. There's some really good shows on the world. The new archery show is really interesting as well. We see an interview with Peter Elzinga and Chef Van den Berg, and really interesting insight to how two very different characters make up a very strong Dutch team. So go and have a look at that on the YouTube channel. It's really interesting here. Now, the conditions, as I've said, have been absolutely fabulous. The umbrellas are up to protect the crowd from the sun rather than the rain. And we look on here, and the wind is looking very, very steady. It's really been a perfect day here for shooting. As we look back on the final rankings for the men's team compound, Italy taking gold from France in a thriller here in Colombia. The Dutch, well, they're going to be on the third step of the podium, beating the USA in the bronze medal match. And coming up right now, it's time to celebrate those medals. Let's welcome those athletes out onto the field of play for the final time here in this session. It's time for medals in the men's team compound here in Colombia.
Ladies and gentlemen, the victory ceremony for the compound men team.
Señoras y señores, la ceremonia de premiación para equipo compuesto masculino.
Medals will be presented by World Archery First Vice President
Las medallas serán presentadas por el primer vicepresidente World Archery,
Mario Scarcella. The artisanal handcrafted backpack will be presented by Guatemala Archery Association President Federico País.
Las mochilas artesanales serán presentadas por el presidente Asociación de Tiro con Arco de Guatemala, Federico País.
Bronze medal representing Netherlands,
Medalla de bronce representando a Países Bajos.
Okay, Picard, it's okay.
Peter Elzinga. Sil Pater.
Congratulations, you received medal, you received Peter, it's fantastic. Congratulations. Bravo.
Mike Slosher.
Well, we mentioned him earlier on there, Chef Van der Berg on the left, the shaved head, looking down on his teammates who have taken the bronze medal here. Mike Schlusser, Peter Elziger, and
Silver
Sil
medal
Patel.
representing France,
Medalla de
Netherlands
plata
take bronze.
representando
Here are the French,
a
though,
Francia.
with their silver.
Bravo.
Jean-Philippe Boulge. Pierre-Julien Deloche. Sébastien Pinot.
Well, they thought they got it, the French, but the Italians shot perfectly in the final end to steal it. So the French will settle for silver. Pierre-Julien Deloche, Sébastien Pinot, and Jean-Philippe Boulge.
Gold medal representing Italy,
Medalla de oro representando a Italia.
Oh, Forza Italia, as they say.
Viviano
They were
Mior.
behind and trailing, but they did the job in the final end. Federico Pagnoni, Sergio Pagni,
Sergio Pagni.
Viviano Pior are the gold medalists here in Colombia.
Federico Pagnoni.
Felicitaciones. Sí conocen a ese hombre, ¿verdad? Sí conocen a ese hombre.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of Italy.
Señoras y señores, por favor pónganse de pie para escuchar el himno nacional de Italia.
Ladies and gentlemen,
The full
please
version
give a
there
warm round
of
of
the
applause
Italian
for
national
athletes.
anthem.
Señoras y señores,
And boy, did they deserve it. They came from behind in the final end. Italy take the men's team compound gold medal match. France taking silver, and there is confirmation with the Dutch team taking bronze. The photo call there for the teams. That's it from this session, but coming up a little bit later on, we will have more compound archery here on Compound Saturday. Brilliant start so far, Mackenzie.
Yeah, it's been a really good session of some upsets and some exciting shooting.
So here is a confirmation of the women's. Looks a little different from what we thought, but the gold medal went to Colombia, and it was Italy who took the men's team gold medal as well here in hazy conditions in the flower city of Colombia, Medellin. The women's final rankings, well, here they are. Colombia taking out USA in the final. Italy securing the bronze as expected over Peru, but watch out for the Peruvians coming up later on this year in the Pan American Games. And what about the men? Well, Italy, well, they turn things on their heads here. Starting well seems to be the key here in Medellin, but the Italians trailed going into the final end, but overtook France with a perfect score. In the final, the Dutch taking the bronze. It has been a fantastic start to the season here in Medellin. The team medals have been sorted out, but coming up a little bit later on, well, we've got the mixed team, always fun, and the individual finals coming up at 2 p.m. local time. Thanks very much for joining myself and Mackenzie Brown. We'll both be back later on. Please do join us.